Dan Hooker and Claudio Puelles in the lightweight division, the number 14 contender in the lightweight division at minus 152. On the betting odds right there, I was originally going Claudio Puelles as my early prediction. I thought possibly maybe Dan Hooker is a little bit chinned out right here. I mean, took a lot of damage in the Dustin Poirier fight, got knocked out badly by Michael Chandler, submitted by Islam, then got knocked out again by Arnold Allen, did beat Nasrat Haqparas, but uses wrestling in that fight, and I was thinking maybe Claudio's able to catch him on the feet with something, take the fight down, and control it on the ground, but the more and more that I think about this fight, I start to lean more towards Dan Hooker. I do think if you're going to bet the fight, do not bet Dan Hooker. The odds are not worth it whatsoever. But prediction-wise, I've switched. I'm going to go Dan Hooker now. I do believe he should be able to defend the takedowns of Claudio Puelles. If he's dominating Nasrat Haqparas on the ground, like he was able to do in that fight, I know Islam dominated him on the ground, but Claudio's no Islam Makhachev, in my opinion. I think Dan Hooker will be able to defend the takedowns in the later rounds. Maybe Claudio lands it in round 1, but Dan Hooker should be able to defend in those later rounds and show that volume and the kickboxing and the city kickboxing skills in round 2, round 3, possibly get close to a finish, maybe a 10-8 rounds in round 3, possibly in that round, but it should be a good one. Claudio's very live for a finish, could get a submission here on Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker is very live for a knockout in round number 3. But I think round 2 is definitely probably going to be Dan Hooker's round. Round 3 probably going to be Dan Hooker. And then round number 1 going to be Claudio Puelles. Kind of comes down to that round number 2 and who wins that round. But at that point, they're going to be sweaty and Dan Hooker is going to land some big shots. So not a super confident pick as you guys will see later. But I got Dan Hooker by a unanimous decision.